What up, though? You listen to the SS Experience, streaming on the SMG Podcast Network app. Download the SMG Podcast Network app on all your Apple devices. Android, I'm still getting to you. Been saying that since 2020. It's about to be 2024. At Henny Hardaway 75 is how you always follow me. At the SS Experience, how you always follow the show. As you can see, nice little new studio I'm in. This is episode 0. I wanted to do something where it's like in college football, right? Where you have week 0, which is kind of like a little feeler out of what's about to go on a little bit. So that's what I wanted to do real quick before we start the new season of the SS Experience. It's been like five, like the 5th year of doing this podcast, turning into a radio show. The radio show version has been out for about 2-3 years. I think about 2 years. This will be the 2nd year going into the radio show version of the podcast. So it's actually pretty dope. At the SS Experience, no E at the beginning of the experience and everything. That's how you always follow the show as well. So week 0, this is what I want to name this episode the state of the pod, kind of like a state of the union type situation. I'm not going to do it too long. You see below how long this episode is, which really isn't an episode. This is just basically me ranting and talking real quick. So you'll see exactly like how long it is. Like I said, we're in a very dope studio out here in ATL. You see, we got a nice little backdrop behind me. You know what I'm saying? Nice little. I wish I had some other cameras to pot around, but using one of the old iPhones real quick, because Chief Keep shot a video with an iPhone 5 or iPhone 4 and made it look good. So shoot. Shout out to the iPhone for making this look real dope real quick. So, state of the pod. So, I ain't gonna cap to you. Like, I've been kind of falling off on the pod a little bit. And if you didn't know, only the people close to me know. Not too many people know, but Mom Dukes passed away December 5th of 2022. Very hard time for me. Still very hard time for me. Not really to go full in depth and talk about it. Yeah, I'm going to probably get the podcast crew together. We'll probably do a therapy session about that. But let's just apropos that for a second. So since then, I haven't really been feeling like podding for real, because when you're one fan, like, despite the fact when we look at the numbers, right? Which I'm going to tell you about the Spotify numbers in a second. Spotify gave us some real good reviews, by the way, man. Shout out to Spotify, man. We love you. Just wish y'all would love us to give us a little bit of money, make it exclusive. But Mom Dukes always listen to the pod. She always give nice little comments on like the YouTube channel and all of that. So when Mom Dukes ain't around, kind of sucks. I mean, just in the general sense, it sucks. So I kind of felt like, you know what? I don't really feel like podding for real. So I try to do a couple of episodes, normally if we had like Morgan Harper on, and things like that, when celebrity guests come through, last season we had Roxy Reynolds pull up, what I'm saying? She actually pulled up to the crib. Now, when you say Roxy Reynolds pulled up to the crib, I wish it was that type of party, but no, it wasn't that type of party. She was promoting her fragrance line, Untold Truth. She had a tour that was going on during the spring. Real dope energy, dope vibes. If you haven't got a chance to get your your fragrance from Roxy Reynolds, we call her Chanel now because she's trying to put that in the past, but we all know what it is. I'll have the link somewhere below. Go ahead and get some perfume from her. Men, she got cologne too. Just let her know Henny Hardaway sent y'all that way. That'll be pretty dope. Then New Music Weekends, that was always something dope. So music artists, over the past couple of months, I've been at various events, hosting various events where there's a lot of music artists there. And, we network, and we bring them on the show. We debuted a lot of good music artists. Going back to the celebrities that we interviewed on the pod, we had Bambi from Love and Hip Hop on the pod. We had Jacquees, Erica Hubbard. I don't know if Erica Hubbard was before my mom died. I think Erica Hubbard was before my mom died. But those was, a couple of those celebrities that we had on the pod. Most recently, we had Soulja Boy on the pod. So that was real good, dope right there. So the reason I did all of that stuff was for most part, that was all for the money. The podcast we do for the love. Shout out to Bootsy Vegas, DJ 321, Takala, Kalia, C-Dog, all of them. They always, they didn't get paid for doing the pod. So that's why there was no pressure to do a pod. We didn't have any sponsors. We didn't have any advertisers. So it wasn't like I had to do a pod. It was kind of like I wanted to. They didn't have to be on the pod. They hopped on because they wanted to. So I just always want to say shout out to them first and foremost, because the pod is better when they're on it. So it's real good, dope stuff right there with them on the pod. So this season of the SS Experience, I'm going to put in some work because I just need to work, to be honest with you. I mean, I got these, this nice new studio set up here. It's pretty dope. Y'all won't see me, recording from the crib for real. I mean, I might record from the crib sometimes, but Atlanta weather's pretty good, so I don't have to, worry about the snow and all of that like when I was in Ohio and all of that. And before I had access to these studios to go ahead and record and do my thing. So I'm going to be in the studio, this studio right here, pretty much doing my recording and all of that. So make sure that y'all definitely tune in. It's going to be real dope. Everybody's still going to be in their respective places, on Zoom. So we're going to still have the Zoom setup, going on and all of that stuff. So that's going to be pretty good and pretty dope right there. But the new format of the SS Experience, like I said, this is a state of the union of the pod, of the show. So I'm going to let y'all know. So the first version of the pod, it was always me, and then we had, DJ 321, had a couple of sports guys come through. Then we actually, had, the radio version of the pod where we integrated the podcast into the radio. We're still going to do that from time to time. But the new format of the pod, I'm going to attempt to drop 3 episodes. I can do 2 for sure, but I'm going to attempt to drop 3. One of the podcast episodes, which will probably be the first one of the week, is going to be a solo pod. It's going to be me in the studio by myself, just giving y'all tea, talking that shit, doing what it is that I do. I got a call in about like 10 minutes, so that's why we're going to hurry this up real quick. The second, version of the pod during the week is going to be the traditional pod. C-Dog, DJ 321, Takala, Kalia, Bootsy, Vegas. So it's going to be the normal pod that you always used to, different personalities and all of that talking. And the third pod of the week, I'm going to attempt to have a guest. Now, when I say attempt to, getting guests is not the easiest thing in the world. I mean, I met a lot of good people, over the time that hooked me up with the Jacquees interview, that hooked me up with the Soulja Boy interview. Erica Hubbard and, Roxy Reynolds was all me. But again, I'm working with real good people to help me get, dope guests to be on the pod is something that's definitely implemented. So I'm going to attempt to have that third episode during the week drop where, we talk to a guest and, probably that's going to be the pod that does the best during the week. But just got to get the content out there. It's just one of those things where it's just like, hey, look, the pod is real well, and I want to get into those Spotify numbers real quick because, like I said, on Spotify, we did real good numbers with the few listeners that we had. Amongst our listeners, we was rated number 1 between, I hate to say the number, but it wasn't that many. It wasn't that many people that rated us number 1. But out of the few people that we had, I would say 80% of them rated us number 1. We had a decent amount of people rate us in the top 5, and then we had a decent amount of people rate us in the top 10 of podcasts that they listen to. So it's not like no big board or anything like that where, the national world, the very few people that we had listen to the pod said we're a top 1 podcast, we're a number 1 podcast, or we're a top 5 podcast, or we're a top 10 podcast. So the goal is for us to get more listeners. And for us to get more listeners, for me, got to be more consistent. Got to give you guys episodes on the day that they're supposed to drop. I be BSing because I'm a one-man band. Just saying. I do have a videographer that, I'm not going to say videographer, a video designer who designs these nice little borders and make sure all my logos is on the appropriate spots. So I have a video designer. I still got to edit the videos. Like as I'm speaking right now, the phone's not playing audio. The audio is coming from this and the board right here. So I got to dub the audio, make sure that my lips and my words is matching. I don't sound like a guy in a Chinese flick. If you remember the Chinese videos where they be like, well, I don't say when you see my mouth, but like, you be saying the word is, it just be crazy. So got to make sure that the words match my mouth, and then boom, it shoots. So I still got to do the video editing too. So if you're a video editor out there, you can bring a camera and you can give us the angles and all of that. Hit me up, give me an email at shabazmediagroup@gmail.com. Hit me up in my DMs at Heaney Hardaway 75. Your services would be really, really appreciated because I'm an audio guy. Cut the mic on, let Adobe Audio do its thing, load it to Spotify, load it to the iHeartRadio app, load it to my podcast network, the SMG Podcast Network app, and I'm Gucci. But we're in an era today where People want to see you. They want to see what's going on. They want to see the energy. They want to see the vibes and all of that. All right, I have a face for radio, but all right, cool. If that's what y'all want, don't say I didn't warn you. Just don't say I didn't want. Oh, he looks different than the way he sounds. A lot of people say that I sound like I'm like 6'2" or 6'3". I'm like 7 inches, well, a lot of inches close, like shorter than that. But you project. You get your diaphragm. You talk from the gut a little bit. You have conviction and all of that, and it makes a 5'7" person like me sound like I'm 6'2" or 6'3". But I digress. It is what it is, though. Other things that we're going to be doing on the pod as well. I'm still trying to get to 100 subscribers. Now, 100 subscribers is very small. We've been trying. Since the Soulja Boy interview, we ended up getting 8 subscribers, which is great. But we need to get more. So I want to give you guys an incentive to listen to the pod. I want to bribe you, basically, to say the least. I want to bribe you. I've said it on the radio. I'm going to say it to you exclusively on episode 0, State of the Pod. For every 100 subscribers that we get on YouTube, I'm going to give away $100. Plain and simple. It could be $100, for a gift card, for whatever. Like, as a matter of fact, somebody gave me a gift card earlier. I was at one of my little day hustles. So imagine this gift card right here, maybe not be Starbucks. I mean, we want to try to have sponsors sponsor us so we can do this. But let's just say hypothetically, this gift card right here. It's for Starbucks. I just said Starbucks. I still had to look at it and say Starbucks, even though it still says Starbucks behind me. Anyway, whatever. $100 gift card, give you an incentive to be like, good looking. We appreciate it because, we don't ask you to pay. A lot of people have those paywalls and stuff where, for $4.99, you can get, look, I ain't trying to have y'all pay for nothing at all. There's billion and million dollar companies out there, even small businesses that can flip the bill. I'm not going to ask y'all to do that. The only thing that I'm going to ask you to do is what I always ask you to do. Like, rate, review, subscribe, download, unsubscribe, resubscribe again. Do the whole process over and over again so the algorithm can think we popping out here in these digital streets. That's all I'm going to ask you. Outside of that, just want you to enjoy the pod because we're doing real good work. I know the first guest I'm going to have on the pod for sure is going to be Jamel McKenzie. If you guys remember Jamel McKenzie, she was running for city council, Ward 1 out in College Park, suburb of Atlanta, Georgia. She won. I wish I had the applause button real quick, but I don't. She won, though. Dog walked her competition. Straight dog walked old Karen, and I think her name was actually Karen, by the way. But I was saying Karen as in the conservative white lady, not her name Karen. But anyway, she dog walked Karen, and it's real dope too. So she's gonna be on the pod. She's gonna be the first guest on the pod, and I'm gonna try to lobby for a job. I want to lobby for some sort of job in politics or whatever. I can be her media consultant. If anything goes down, I can do the interviews and all of that stuff. Press. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to try to lobby for a job with Jamel McKenzie in College Park, Georgia. It's going to be real dope. Other guests that I want to have lined up, some athletes as well. I got a guy who has a good connection. My dude KJ, he has a real good connection with some people that's from Atlanta that's going to be going to Ohio State. As you know, the radio show is broadcast on 106.7 The Beat, and we definitely want to bring in those individuals to talk that talk, with the players and all of that. So that's a couple of things that's going to be going down the pipeline. I got a guest that I have to record. It's going to be actually, I hate to date this stuff, but this, you know what? I'm not going to date it. I'm just going to let you guys wait and see how it's going to go down. But we may have a potential sponsor. Taxes. You guys need to get your taxes done. Make sure that you listen to the SS Experience podcast and radio show. I got a girl that's real dope with taxes that can help you get that bag back from Uncle Sam. I'm not trying to do a pitch now because I don't have all of the information, but I know I'll be talking to her in a second, and it's going to be real dope. It's going to be real good energy, real good vibes. If you see me wearing the same thing, even though it's like an episode that's dropping like in distance, yeah, it be like that sometimes. So Make sure that you follow the SS Experience on everything. Follow me at Henny Hardaway75. Like, rate, review, subscribe. Go back and listen to some of the old episodes of the SS Experience, especially my interview with Soulja Boy, my interview with Jacquees, Roxy Reynolds, Erica Hubbard, Jamel McKenzie. Even my new music weekend guests, go back and listen to them too, because they have real good music, real good stuff. I'm not saying that because, they, basically got on the show, paid me to, promote their music or whatever, but it's real good music. Just saying though. So make sure that you rate, review, subscribe, like, and all of that stuff. This is the state of the pod from the SS Experience. Easy.